Madam Speaker, today I'd like to discuss my latest northern trip, which started on Saturday the 9th of May and was completed late on Thursday on the 14th of May, having travelled in excess of over 2,700 kilometres. I left Saturday to travel to Glendambo, then on to Coober Pedy, where I had the great pleasure of talking to numerous people. However, the biggest concern at Coober Pedy was the forthcoming native title variation being instigated by the native title owners for this region. This region has been operating under the native title for many, many years and has had great support and outcomes from everybody, including the pastoralists, the opal miners. This variation to the current agreement proposal is out for community consultation and discussion, ending on the 21st of July this year. However, not many of the people who may be impacted firstly knew about the proposal, and those mainly involved could include the opal miners plus the numerous pastoralists across all of the northern parts of South Australia. I've encouraged as many people as possible that could be impacted to submit their views through the Form 5, which is on the internet. Travelling from Coober Pedy to Oodnadatta, I understand, I saw the road there. The road was impassable some time ago due to the lot of rain, but the graders are out there now doing a very satisfactory job. But however, further information, further attention needs to be given by the contractors once the roads have been made serviceable for the transition. At Oodnadatta, I had the opportunity to visit the facility which has been utilised by the Bungala Aboriginal Corporation in Port Augusta, providing services and meals to the Aboriginal families in Oodnadatta for many years. They have been utilising a building which is state-owned, it was a state-owned building, leased to the Aboriginal Lands Trust, which is the ALT. However, as there has been virtually no maintenance for nearly 20 years, the building is no longer suitable for the occupancy due to the asbestos and several other safety and health concerns, resulting in the corporation not being able to provide any services to the Aboriginal families in Oodnadatta. The corporation has given the 6 months termination of their services to the relevant health department, and I have requested information from the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs as to the future of the service, plus the future opportunity to service the Aboriginal community of Oodnadatta and surrounding areas. I then travelled to William Creek, where numerous constituents had discussions regarding their concerns. And then I travelled to Maree, where I had the discussions with several constituents. Mainly, a lot of those constituents, there's a lot of crossover between state and federal discussions, but however, we're working together on that there. I then travelled to the Birdsville track, travelling to the Cooper's Crossing, which is currently not suitable for stock transports due to traverse across that, due to the large amounts of rain that has been received in this area for the last couple of months. I will say the rain has been very good for the pastoralists, however, it is causing great concerns for getting these roads up to repairing these roads. And I talked to the member for Chafe, he's got some similar issues there, but until the area dries out, we can't really get these roads fixed up properly. Now, also, due to the inaccessible locations going north and south on the Birdsville track, to Mungarani in particular, it is to utilise the barge, which was able to secure after several months, after lots of discussions and lobbying with the Premier and the ministers. This barge, unlike the barge that was utilised prior to achieving this, probably about 12 months ago, this unit, which is able to transport stock units up to 2 trailers at a time, has proven a godsend to the pastoralists for travelling their stock to and from their pastoral properties, both south and north. The original barge, which was nearly 60 years old, it was only capable of carrying a small vehicle, let alone an RV from today, which shows that the original statements were that for the barge would not be required again after the first one about 6 or 8 months ago. In my opinion, the issue of flooding at the Cooper's Creek crossing will be more frequent than in previous years. During the trip, it was evident that the road maintenance contractors are endeavouring to at least get the roads to a serviceable condition before lots of major works need to be carried out in the future to bring them up to an acceptable standard. When I do these trips, I find it very beneficial to carry out the whole journey by road, which allows for stops to discuss issues with some of the smaller communities, and is the best opportunity to actually feel the road conditions, which allows me to report directly back to the relevant ministers with any issues, like the situations at Oodnadatta and the issues relevant to the application for revised determination of native title in the Coober Pedy region, which, as mentioned earlier, lots of community organisations and pastors were not completely aware of.